welcome back to my channel. Today we are creating this really bold, beautiful blue teal eyeshadow look. I got to try out another new liquid lipstick color to me, and I really like how it all came out. So if you'd like to see how we got this look, then let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so I already have one eye finished because I wanted to figure out what I was going to do instead of wasting our time trying to figure out through the video what I was going to do. So don't mind that the one eye is done. This is what we're gonna end up with. So the palette that I'm gonna first work from is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. It's this beautiful palette she created with Morphe. So it has some really bright colors, and then it has a lot of warm tones and cool tones, matte and shimmers, if I didn't already say that. So the first two shades that I'm gonna go in with are these two right here in the palette. And all I'm gonna do is take that on a clean crease brush and just run this a little bit higher than my natural crease area. So instead of keeping it directly in the crease, I'm actually gonna bring it up just a little bit higher. And in the end, as you can see out here, like I do kind of want it to wing out in the corner. So I'm going to run this through. It doesn't have to be anything beautiful by any means because we are gonna go through quite a few steps together. So I'm just gonna be winging this corner out right here. You can't even really see this color anymore, but I figured I better stay with the exact steps that I used on this eye for this eye so that I don't get all confused. So I'm just gonna be running this back and forth here. Going back into that palette, I'm gonna pick up this matte shade right here. It's this really nice teal shade. I'm gonna be using this on a Morphe M573 crease brush. And I'm gonna be focusing this tighter into the crease. This is quite a large brush to be saying that I want it to be tighter, but again, it doesn't really matter. It's all pretty blown out, so I don't need a really small, defined, precise brush. So I'm just really running this as closely to the crease as I can be. Again, in this outer edge, I'm winging it out towards the corner. And the reason I used those first two shades before I popped on this color is because I didn't want this shade to be too green. So this kind of muted it down and made it not so like teal bright green. But if you wanted it to be brighter, then you can definitely just go in with this shade and not have to apply those first two shades to kind of mute this color. And then from here, I'm actually gonna hop into the Sephora, I believe this is the editorial palette. I'm gonna pop into this palette and I'm gonna be picking up this matte right here, this matte deeper blue kind of green shade. And I'm using this on a brush that I actually got from Urban Decay. This is actually from the Naked 3 palette. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit more defined. It's kind of like a flat shadow brush kind of, but it's dual-ended, so you have two ends here. You have this one, which is the flat shadow brush, and then again you have this one right here. So I'm gonna be focusing this directly into the crease. And these colors mixed, as you can see, it's a lot brighter and more green inside of the palette, but once I mix all these shades together, it turns a little bit more of a blue shade, and that's kind of what I'm looking for instead of being so green. So that's why I ended up using so many colors, so I'm sorry. But you guys can play with whatever colors you want. If you don't have both of these palettes, working from one palette will be perfectly fine. You don't have to do all this mixing. But I really like how the blue kind of turned out, so we're prepping for another color. So again, I'm just really tightly hugging my natural crease. And when we get to the outer corner here, this is making sure to be winged out here. And I'm gonna go ahead and take another crease brush and kind of just lightly buff out the top edge here, just because it's looking pretty rough and patchy. And then from here, I'm going in with this beautiful product from Stila. This is the Stila, what are you called? Shimmer and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Freedom. It's this beautiful, beautiful, like mermaid teal, iridescent, like beautiful shade. I'm obsessed, I love this. So I'm actually gonna take this on a Morphe M124 brush. It's a really tiny kind of flat shadow brush. This is gonna be perfect to pick up the product that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just swipe it off. And I'm gonna be placing this on the entire like inner 3/4 of my eye. It doesn't have to be anything perfect because I wanted to go in with another shade over top of it because I didn't want it to be like too blue. So about from here all the way over to the inner corner. It's such a stunning color though. I love this. If you guys want to work with glitter shadows, but you don't want to have to work with like a glitter glue, also favorite glitter glue, this is by NYX. It's like $6 I think, maybe $7. I buy this at Ulta. It's like one of the best glitter glues you could possibly have in case you're looking for one. The Stila ones though, if you like anything kind of glittery or shimmery, these are perfect. They have so many shades. They launched a bunch of new shades as well, so check them out if you haven't seen their new ones. So from here, I am going to use that same shadow brush. I'm gonna go back into the Jaclyn and Morphe palette. I'm gonna pick up this shade right here in the corner. Sorry I don't have the shade names, but it's this beautiful shimmery, bright blue, turquoise, teal shade. And I'm going to be pressing this right over top of that color, just to make it a little bit more like teal colored. And it won't make it as like intense of a color. Even though I'm obsessed, I love the color, I just kind of wanted to play with something a little bit more blue-green. So I'm just really pressing this right over top. So I'm gonna use a really small bullet brush and I'm gonna pick up this bright blue shimmer right here in this palette. And I'm gonna start building up the outer edge. Mixing this color on top because it kind of goes on, it looks kind of purpley. But once we blend the colors together, it turns into the perfect blue shade that I was hoping for. So I'm gonna start really just packing on the color right here just to intensify this outer edge. Making sure to kind of wing it out in the corner. And then I'm really lightly going to run it through the crease. But I'm not really picking up a ton of product though, so don't go in like full-handed because this color is super pigmented. But I'm just lightly running this through the crease, and then we're gonna go in with a blending brush and diffuse all of it and blend it out. And for that, I'm just using another crease brush. This is by Smashbox. Whoops. This was from a holiday set that I got, so I don't know if you can get this, but you can just use any crease shade. All I'm doing is just buffing over the edges just to make it nice and diffused in the corners. So as you can see, the colors are kind of coming together and they turn into that beautiful like dark sea blue color. And the reason that I used this underneath that other shadow that I just put over top is because this is so bright, and that brightness is gonna make the shadow that I packed over top of it really bright, if that makes any sense. So that is why I decided to use that below this shadow right here. Just so that it makes it still really intense and it's really pop bright color. And then I am bringing that blue up into this inner corner here. And then I'm going to take another crease brush. It doesn't have any additional product, but I'm just lightly going to be buffing out the edges on the top. And then from here, I'm going to pick up that really small shadow brush. Going back into the palette, I'm going to pick up this bright turquoise teal color again. And I'm just going to intensify that green because now that we did some blending, we kind of blended away a little bit of that color. So I'm just packing that on. I'm going to intensify this one too. And I'm going to take a defined brush and just lightly buff out the edge so we don't see a harsh line. And then to highlight the brow bone, I'm going to be using my Candy Johnson Too Faced Banana Pudding Setting Powder. I'm just taking this on a shadow brush and I'm really just going to lightly highlight the brow bone and kind of diffuse out the edges on the top here in the corner. And then I'm gonna pop on some liner, which I'm gonna be using the Smashbox Always Sharp kohl, not gel, kohl liner. I'm gonna be popping this on my top and on the waterline as well. And then hopping back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm gonna pop on this really bright blue shimmery shade. Tapping off the excess, I'm actually going to be running this along my lower lash line, right below where I just placed that black liner. And then I'm gonna take that shadow brush and kind of just buff out the edges. Okay, so moving on to the rest of the face, we're gonna be priming our face with the Smashbox Radiance Photo Finish Primer. I take about a pea-sized amount of this and massage it into the skin. You guys know I'm obsessed. It fills in my pores slightly and really makes my face look really radiant. So I really enjoy this primer. And for my foundation today, I'm going to be using the, sorry, I was trying to shake it at the same time, I ended up showing it to you, but I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I'm going to be using the shade 202, and I'm going to be using this on a Real Techniques beauty sponge. It is such a dreary day, like it's so cloudy and dark. I think it's like 1:30 and it's literally so dark outside, it's really windy and it's just pouring down rain. So I think that's where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do something like really colorful and make myself feel better because this weather is awful. Not my favorite. You guys have a favorite weather? Like weather type? I think my favorite would be like 65 out, so it's kind of chilly and like really, really bright blue sky. That would hands down be my favorite. This foundation is so pretty. I haven't tried the matte one, and I don't think I will. I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. Because you guys know that I'm really dry, so just the thought of like a matte foundation when they have a dewy foundation option, I'm like, what is the point for me to try that? But maybe I will. I know I can make it work, I'm sure, but it just like really makes your skin look so pretty though. It's just a really nice foundation if you're looking for one from the drugstore. For my concealer, I'm just gonna be using my favorite. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Concealer. I'm gonna be using the shade Fair Light to brighten up underneath my eyes. And I'm running out of this. I'm gonna be flipping it over and using the pointed side of my sponge. And then to set my face, I'm gonna be using the Too Faced Candy Johnson powder right here. I'm gonna be taking this just on a big fluffy brush and just setting my entire face so that nothing moves, nothing slides around. I did already fill in my brows and I used the Smashbox matte brow pencil and I set my brows with the Benefit Gimme Brow. I clearly just realized that I actually didn't even finish off this eye. I'm gonna pop on the lashes and bottom mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we can move on to the rest of the face because now both eyes are the exact same. I don't know how I missed that, so don't judge me. But I'm gonna be working from the Park Avenue Princess by Tarte palette. Sorry, this is so reflective, but here it is here. It has beautiful matte and highlight shades. All of them in here are, did I say matte and highlight shades? I meant highlighter and bronzer shades, and they're all matte is what I was gonna say. So I'm just gonna be working from here, warming up my face. I am really impressed with this palette if you don't already have it. It's actually really heavy duty, really nice packaging. Like this is the back of it. The names are actually on the bottom here, which is convenient. I just really like it. It's really great overall palette for lots of different skin tones. So if you're looking for a new bronzer palette, this might be the one for you. And they're really, really pigmented. And I kind of just mix back and I mix back and forth. So I kind of just go in and like choose like 2 or 3 shades at the same time and then just warm up my face. But I really love the pigment. As you can see, they're very pigmented. Really easy to use, really easy to blend out. So whether you're a professional or just starting out, this would either way be a great option. I'm gonna actually use this palette as well to use this highlighter to brighten up underneath my eyes and to kind of brighten up the center of my face as well. So I'm just gonna take this and pop this right here. Well, you can kind of see that it really does brighten brighten up underneath the eyes. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. And I am gonna brighten just a little bit underneath the bronzer to kind of clean up. And for my lips today, I have a new lip color that I haven't tried yet. This is by Kylie Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Hazel. So I bought this a while back, and some of her products, most of her lip products, they come with a lip liner and the liquid lipstick, so it's actually really convenient that you don't have to do guessing on, if I'm gonna wear this liquid lipstick, what lip liner do I wear? But it does make the price quite a bit more expensive than just having your own lip liner that can go with anything. But nonetheless, I'm really excited to try out this color. This is the shade Hazel, so we are going to line our lips. Wow, this lip pencil is super, super creamy. I really like the color so far. It's a pretty like muted, warm nude, I guess is how I would describe it. But let's go ahead and pop on the liquid lipstick. Wow, this looks kind of messy. That's weird. And what do you know? It's like the exact same color, so that's good. Oh my gosh, I knew there was something I was forgetting to put on. I was like, that can't be it. What am I missing? I missed my favorite part, putting on highlighter. Who am I today? Who am I? I'm gonna go ahead and pop on the Tarte in the shade Stunner highlighter. You know this is my favorite, clearly, when I am hitting pan, so here we go. Now there we go. Now I feel like I'm human. I guess it would have been fun though to do like an all matte look. Let me know if you guys want to see an all matte look. I can do something like that for you if you'd like. And then I am gonna pop on a little bit of blush color. I'm gonna use this peachy nude shade right here in the palette. This is the Makeup Revolution blush palette. Super affordable, really nice shades. So I'm just gonna be using that first shade right here and just popping this on the apples of my cheeks just to give a little bit of additional color to my face. And then you know, to finish off the look, we're gonna be using a setting spray. This is by Pixi. This is the Glow Mist. So I'm gonna be setting my face. And that's it, you guys. That completes this look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know what you'd like to see next. And until next time, I'll see you soon.